Today we're going to talk about Escher finance and about, I'll say, staking, liquid staking, risk staking, interpretability, and abstraction, of course. We're going to touch all of it. So let's start. So ZKGM, to everyone, a little bit about me before we are starting. Basically came from system information engineering, a little bit ML, AI, what hot right now. Game theory, Hackathon 1, Zion, Aragon, and we built in Nomos, one of our other company, one of the first adopter of ICA and ICQ. A little bit bonus, I really like DAOs, and I have a lot of interest in that, so many times I'm just doing research on them. So let's go. Okay, cool. So what we're going to talk about? Crypto chaos equal fragmentation. And what is fragmentation? What is interpretability? What is abstraction? This is, I think, in my opinion, the most fundamental problems that we have today in Web3. And we are trying to solve them in respect into staking and liquid staking as the panel that we had before. So we're gonna give a quick overview first on the staking and liquid staking network in general in the crypto ecosystem, and then we're gonna jump a little bit into one of these problems and show maybe from a little bit different angle what we are saying and what we are meaning about it. So that's numbers are right for, let's say, 2 weeks ago when we made this presentation. Today we have 85 actually, billion, probably more today with the price increase, of proof of stake network that actually got in stake. That's just the number of tokens that get in stake in this proof of stake network. So it's included everything. I included movement languages, Cosmos SDK, Ethereum, Solana, and so on. And the amazing thing is this, just 6% from all of that are basically liquid staked. And why I say it's amazing? I think it's amazing because liquid staking is a tool that we see, I think only in crypto, I didn't find it in traditional finance, that I think personally we are not leveraged enough. The ability to get yields and also use the token, it's something amazing. And we see this problem and we're asking ourselves, why not more than this? I mean, I will not accept it to be 100%, of course, because we still need gas token to pay, but why not more than this? And I think the answer is accessibility, and I'll explain more. Okay, so just a little bit, we will jump into the numbers. So we can see that 40% of liquid staking, and this is pretty amazing, in Ethereum, okay, we know that's mostly Lido, are liquid staked from the total staking of the network. Now, why I say it's amazing, or maybe not, we can argue about that, but think about that you can only run staking generally on Ethereum if you have 32 ETH. Now, most of the people don't have 32 ETH, so they have to use something else. So a lot of people want to participate automatically using it as a shared pool or validator to do it. And I think one of the reasons it's because they have been like early adopters of this, and the users don't have a way to do it without these sources. Now, Solana, it's a different creature, I'll say, because Solana using validators as well and proof of stake, they have different epoch every 2 days, but it's only 6%. And funny thing, I talked with the Lido team. The Lido team stopped providing the same issuer as ST-ETH, stopped providing the ST Sol in the day Solana was in the bottom price. Jito take all, and Marinada, I think, take all the liquidity from them, and now we know where is Solana today and what they lost. And the last one is the most amazing thing that I have hard time to understand, or maybe understand it and I'm not accepted yet. Only 2% of the Cosmos SDK. Now, Cosmos SDK, it's very wide. You have chains that are gonna say they are Cosmos SDK. You have chains that not gonna say they are Cosmos SDK, but they are Cosmos SDK. And only 2% from that are liquid staked. And we need to ask ourselves why. So I think it's something that related to fragmentation, to the disturb of the network, to less of DeFi accessibility into the Cosmos ecosystem. So just quick warning, it's going to be memes here, and they're not going to be funny. But I have to use them. So let's jump and talk a little bit about one of the three problems that we said. So chaos, basically fragmentation. What we see right now, it's a lot of raising from different chains, so I'll say specific chains, that raising for specific target. So we're all familiar with L1s, right? L1s have their own proof of stake. It can be above the execution layer, so it can be like CosmWasm, it can be EVM, it can be Move, all the good things that we know. But you have a lot in the last 2 years, I'll say, chains that raising and developing for one purpose. And we can split it for the most known ones. So L1, of course, we said. DA chains like Celestia, as example. RWA like Mantra. Sequencer like the Fuel sequencer, Astria, Espresso. An AI chain can be like Story. All of them have one purpose. Part of them have execution layer as developing smart contract, and part of them are not. What is unique about that is that users have a hard time to connect into them because they don't have all the apps that we know. And also, what we see that they don't have a native DeFi ecosystem. So the question that we're asking here is, are you stakeable? Because if you're stakeable, you have another purpose. We can work with you. If you're a proof of stake chain, we can do amazing things together. So I just put a little bit of the names that we probably familiar with from the last raises. But the amazing number is 2.4 billion being raised only for L1 proof of stake in the last 2 years. That's like a crazy number. And think about that each one of them, it's sitting on a different way or a different planet and not allowed to this stake or access from different users to go over easily and stake into them. I think that's one of the problems. So we talk about fragmentation, right? Yeah. Let's talk about interoperability. That it's another point in our fundamental problem. So in the end of the day, we are in the union event, of course, and I think it's one of the solutions for that. So I'm not going to expand so much on that because I think we all heard Carl explaining. But the problem is that interoperability as bridge, maybe if we want to call it, can be dangerous, slow, expensive. And the most important thing, what I call the phase 1 and 2, it's bridge without messaging capability. And this is the biggest problem. So we're looking right now on a new area that bridges are not just transferring assets, they are transferring message. And this is the new thing that probably gonna solve it. And my favorite one that we're gonna jump a little bit inside and gonna understand a little bit what is meaning abstraction, maybe in a different angle. So you can see the meme. So I think I said it in the panel, but for us, Web3 OGs, 3+ experience, you can do it like a junior developer. So 3+ experience, saying open another wallet, what is the problem? Gas, Cypress, it's another network. Yeah, but for someone to join That's not possible. It's super, super hard. So you need to have multiply wallets, multiply seed press. You don't have looping. That's mean like you are all the time doing what we call cross-chain. So like moving from chain A to chain B and finish there. It's pretty hard. Multiply gas token. Each one of the chain using different gas token. So you need to hold in each wallet a different gas token to operate what you want to do. And no direct app connections. So apps basically build on the chain they are, and they cannot connect with other ones. I think let's jump to the next slide and see a little bit what it's mean from different angle. So what I'm going to say here, it's not 100% correct. It's actually pride of mix up between all the things. So I like to split abstraction into two sections. So one of them is front-end and one of them is back-end. Front-end is talking more about the user, what the user is getting from the abstraction. The user need to get account abstraction, so basically connect with everything. Connect with your email, connect with your Instagram, connect with any social app. You don't need to remember the wallet address that you have, as example. Passkeys, one account, one gas payment, so pay only at one gas payment. Now all of these things is things that very, very much affected on the end user. But I'm saying something else. What about the developer in the end of the day? The developer wants the abstraction experience as well, not less than the end user. So when you're talking about backend, we're talking about things that more related into developing. So API, orchestration, looping, meaning starting chain A, finish chain A, not being stuck on chain B, and then you need to come back, double clicks, 4 clicks, you don't have gas token, you're stuck there, you need to ask from your friend, man, send me some tokens, I'm stuck on, on base right now. So all of this, clearing layer and query data, it's one of the most important things. So all of this stuff related also for the backend. How the backend, how the developer can approach different development from the abstraction. One second. Oh, okay. So how to solve all of that? That's the reason that we're here, right? So I will present you Escher. That Escher is built basically over Nomos and Union. Escher is a liquid staking protocol in the, I'll say, protocol app that fully chain abstracted. What does it mean? It means that you can stake from anywhere to anywhere. It's not really matter. While you're connecting to Union, you can stake with Escher. And I think the best way to explain it is to show a simple diagram. Oh, we're not going to go over the code. So user can start basically here. So we see here that you have like the user is on Ethereum, Berachain, Arbitrum, so on. The user is connecting into the protocol, the smart contract of Escher in his source chain, the chain that he is starting from, and basically sending a message into liquidity staking protocol and the ICA controller is together on Union. Is connecting into it, sending the token. It's, by the way, can be any token because we're doing the swap in the background. And the liquidity staking protocol take it and mint to him an asset, a liquid staking token that's going back directly with one click. We don't need to like open another wallet on Union to get it. With this, the liquid staking protocol is connected into the third party chain and stake it through their validators, as we know as staking. Now, what we did here, we basically jumped a couple of levels, I'll say, from what we know until now. We're doing everything in one click. So accepting the ERC20, we're using the IBC and Union, what I like to call Union IBC on steroids, for deploying this. So the user just need to pay gas. I know it sounds crazy. In the token that is on the chain. If he is on Base, he need to pay in it. If he is on Bearer chain, he need to pay in Bearer. If he's on Aptos, so in Aptos token. It don't need to have the end chain token for doing so. And also, we are taking all in the background. We are taking all the swap and everything for him. And the user is getting the chain, so that's what we call looping, into the search chain. And we can ask why. The reason is that a lot of the chains that, if you remember, that I talk about, let's go back a little bit. So, yeah, a lot of the chains that I'm talking about don't have their native DeFi ecosystem. And they don't want to have the DeFi native ecosystem. But they still need to engine and start their token to get in else and bring users to secure the network. Because this is how blockchain works. We cannot fight over it. So what we are willing to do with them is to connect them directly to the biggest, right now it's EVM, can work on other networks as well, the biggest DeFi ecosystem out there. So think about that. It can be risk-taking with Symbiotic, can be pool on Uniswap, can be strategy yield on Pendle. All of this is possible with this solution and can be used by one click. OK, so we understand this. But Escher is building a little bit different. And when I'm talking about interpretability and accessibility, I'll give one example. Because our IBC work and our Union work, and because we issued the token himself on the Union chain, basically user can start on one chain and finish in another chain. So if you have a better yield opportunity on Base, as example, you can start from Bearer chain. There your asset is there. You can start from Bearer chain and connect directly into Base. But you don't need to go to Bearer chain for redeem your token to get back your native token. You can do it directly from Base. And this is because the route, while you're using the Union bridge, it's always correct. You're always gonna move through the IBC, the right IBC route. And I'm not gonna get too much into it because we don't have enough time, but I will adore you to read the skip docs that explain it really, really well. So I give a little bit example of what we can do, and the question is what we will do in the future. So of course, we're gonna start with liquid staking on Union and connect it for all the dApps on the EVM side and so on, but we're gonna have a lot of opportunities. So account abstraction, fully abstracted app, Escher is built for the masses. It's not built just for Web3. It's built for the institutions. It's built for the Web3, the Web2 users that are going to come and join us now with the new cycle that we are having. It's connecting across different DeFi protocols. Restaking, I said. Also, ETF or ETP. Think about it. What's going to happen when we're going to do a basket of proof of stake network, or even the liquid of the proof of staking network? That's also a use case that we can do. I mean, if someone have a question or something, more than happy, you can catch me after and follow us. Thank you.